Sustainability is more than a global initiative or industry talking point. It has become an important business strategy that is driving thought leadership across the IT industry, according to Virginie Le Barbu, Global Sustainability Director of International Markets for Lenovo, and who also serves as lead of Lenovo's 360 Circle focused on sustainability. In this episode of Beyond Distribution with GTDC, Virginie shares her experiences and insight on this critical topic with host Frank Vitagliano and special guest co-host GTDC Sustainability Project Leader Dominique Deklerck. Their conversation covers Lenovo's new sustainability initiatives, the role of AI in driving innovation in the circular economy, and collaboration opportunities across the channel. For more information on global market trends, check out our latest articles, research, and resources on the GTDC Knowledge Hub, and you can find that at www.gtdc.org. Thanks for listening.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to our next edition of Beyond Distribution. I am thrilled today to have two folks with me who have been an integral part of a very significant set of initiatives on an ongoing basis that are important to us, important to the industry, and frankly, important to the world. So first of all, let me welcome Virginie Le Barbu, the Global Sustainability Director for International Markets for Lenovo. Virginie, thank you for joining us today.
Pleasure.
And also with us is Dominique Deklerck, who we call DDK. He is the project lead for sustainability for GTDC, has been working with us for probably the last year and a half, 2 years, I guess, Dominique, on this important topic. So welcome to you.
That's right. Thank you, Frank, for having me. And Virginie, welcome.
Yeah, good. So Virginie, let me start with you. What we usually like to do is just start off by talking a little bit about your career, your start, how you got into, the technology business. So tell us a little bit about that. And then, of course, we'll dive into your role and some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah, I just feel a bit old now. I actually landed in tech a bit randomly. I started my career as a finance trainee in IBM. And I stayed there, I think, 10 years. And so 10 years between IBM and Lenovo. And I got a job offering from one of my customers. And this is at this stage when I moved to another industry in 2009 that I realized how much I was enjoying the pace, the innovation, and the mindsets that are so unique to tech. And that's when I really understood that I have developed a true passion for the tech. So when Lenovo offered me to come back, I couldn't really refuse. And since then, I've stayed connected to tech because I do think it's still one of the few industries where you can combine creativity, purpose, and real impact.
Yeah, well, that's great. And you and I have one thing in common. We both started with IBM. Of course, my start was a lot longer, a long time ago, a lot longer than yours, but we both started there. Dominique, if you would, why don't you jump in?
Yeah, well, first of all, again, Virginie, thank you for joining us at the podcast. You and I we know each other on a couple of projects. And let me say, first of all, congratulations on being named to DSS Plus Leaders Making a Difference 2025 list for your mentoring efforts in sustainability. I guess this is a huge recognition, obviously, for you, for your front-runner role as a sustainability champion in our sector. Tell us a bit what it is that makes you so passionate about sustainability, and how did you get your start there?
Let me start with the start. So in fact, I tend to think that it started quite smoothly and naturally with a mix of personal experience and professional discovery. Earlier in my career, I had the pleasure of working as global account manager for Schneider Electric. So, and as we know, Schneider is a company that is deeply engaged in energy management and sustainability. And I think that experience really gave me a strong sensitivity to sustainability topics and really showed me how technology and efficiency go hand in hand. And a few years later, I hit what many call the glass ceiling in my career. I was thinking it was not something I would face in my career, but I did. And that is a moment that really triggered a deep self-awareness journey for me. And it has really pushed me to reconnect with my authentic woman leadership and ask myself how I could create more meaningful impact. And through that reflection, I became more aware of diversity, equity, and inclusion challenges. But I also realized that DI was only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to sustainability. And that the real transformation had to come from addressing really the broader systems and mindset change that sustainability can bring. So it is around that time that I started to engage with the United Nations Global Compact. And it really confirmed my belief that I wanted to participate more as the private sector has a crucial role to play in solving the challenges that we are all facing today. So that's why I decided to pivot my career during COVID, and I pursued my MBA in sustainability management. And today I tend to think that my mission is really to convert as many people as possible into sustainability champions, as I truly believe that everyone has a role to play, and sustainability can't really sit in a single department or function. It has to be embedded at every level of decision making, from strategy to daily operation. And I do think this is truly fascinating to see all the interdependencies that are existing around sustainability can also drive a powerful moment around collaboration, especially when it comes to accelerating the transformation we need.
Yeah. Yeah, I notice on your LinkedIn bio that you have an MBA degree in sustainability.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. That seems like it's a certainly valuable and timely educational path to be able to pursue.
Yeah, so during the COVID, I decided to pursue MBA in sustainable management with SUMAS, that is a sustainability management school that is based in nearby Geneva. And because mainly it was one of the few programs where sustainability is truly embedded in every single course. So whether you're studying strategy, finance, or marketing, you approach it through all the lens of sustainability, and there is really this notion of long-term value creation. It's a very hands-on and international program that is having a very strong focus on innovation, ethics, and real business transformation. And for me, it has been really an eye-opener doing this MBA, because I wanted to make sure I had solid foundation to drive the change I want to drive. And I do think this MBA really gave me what I was looking for. It has helped me to really see sustainability as a strategic enabler and not just a reporting exercise. And I have to say that balancing it with my full-time role at Lenovo was quite intense, but it was a very powerful learning experience. And it has only strengthened my conviction and confidence in leading transformation in a pragmatic and inspiring way, I would tend to say, around sustainability. And I've been ultimately very lucky that Lenovo gave me the opportunity to apply what I was learning and to build the Lenovo 360 circle from scratch, while bringing channel partners together and making sure that we can accelerate the change across our entire value chain and ecosystem.
Yeah, it certainly adds to credibility for sure, and obviously living it, taking that course and investing that time while you're in the job that you're in, it really is a pretty interesting thing to do, and made a lot of sense. Go ahead, Dominique. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I mean, and you already touched on it, Virginie, Lenovo 360. Okay, Lenovo has been always, or since long, very engaged and heavily invested in promoting sustainability for years. Okay, but it is really under your leadership, okay, that Lenovo launched a partner community initiative called Lenovo 360. Tell us a bit more about that initiative. What are Lenovo's goals of that initiative, and how does it fit within the Lenovo's overall ESG strategy, and how has that program been received by the channel so far?
So yes, you're right. At Lenovo, we started to work on sustainability almost 2 decades ago now, and sustainability is embedded at all levels of the organization. The way we are approaching it at from three different angles. The first one is the corporate angle. The second one is the value chain, and finally, our product, solution and services. So at corporate level, we have this mojo that is the smarter technology for all. And it really means that we want to design and deliver technology that is inclusive, responsible, and transformative. So we want to be able to serve our people, planet, and ultimately accelerate the progress on a global scale through technology. When you think about the value chain, our strategy is really to build an end-to-end accountability across the value chain. So we are integrating circular economy principle into how we design, source, manufacture, package, and recover products. But we are also advancing sustainable supply chain practices, working very closely with our suppliers and ultimately our partners to improve transparency, reduce emission, and being able to promote ethical sourcing. And at product level, we have three key pillars, that is energy efficiency, product longevity, so circular economy, and the inclusive innovation. And all this really help to support our long-term ambition, that is to reach our net zero emission by 2050, our target that has been validated by the Science Based Targets initiative. So the Lenovo 360 circle is really embedded into the value chain approach, but supporting all the angle of this strategy. So as you said, the circle is our partner sustainability community. And the goal of this community is really to accelerate the transformation through the collaboration and be able to promote all together with the channel a more responsible procurement and consumption habits across the market. And today it brings together partners from all around the world who are really committed to embedding sustainability in their business model and to drive change within their own network. We have three key pillars inside the community. The first one is the business transformation. So the idea, we want to shift from product-centric to service-led, which is at the heart of circular economy principle. The collaborative leadership, so the idea to recognize that sustainability is really complex and that sometimes it can be really intimidating, and that by working together, sharing expertise and building transparency, we can really turn that complexity into opportunity and strength. And the last pillar is United Nations 2030 Agenda Role Model. And here we want to make sure that we are aligning with global sustainability goals and being able to inspire also others across the ecosystem to follow and contribute. So in one sense, and you know it well, Dominique, the philosophy behind it is very simple. We move faster when we move together. And it's not just a community. I tend to think that now it's really a collective movement to make sustainability actionable, measurable, and scalable across our industry.
Yeah, what is remarkable, I think, because I mean, that some other of your competitors may have, initiatives ongoing, but what is so strong about yours is the way you involve also your downstream partners and involve the channel. Okay, how has that been? I mean, how has the channel been involved over the last years? It started small a couple of years ago, but now, how many partners are part of this initiative, that collaboration initiative?
Oh, we have more than 650 headquarter partners in more than 56 countries that are representing, I checked the numbers this morning, are representing 2,800 plus local entities. But
Wow.
the number that is very important is my favorite one, is 47%. 47% is the percentage of those partners who have dedicated resources to sustainability. So it means that there is really a strong engagement from the channel.
Yeah, well, I know the distributors are certainly engaged because when we started this initiative, probably 2.5, 3 years ago now, Dominique, it came out of the leadership team of the distributors in Europe, right? We every year at our annual event will have a leadership meeting, and a couple of years ago, they requested that we put together an initiative to help drive awareness, to make sure that all of the distributors were at least aware of what was happening, on the same page relative to the activities, and then getting more involved as time goes on. Certainly with folks like you and some of the other companies out there. Let me step back a minute though and ask you a question that's probably a little bit higher level, a little bit more macro level, and that is, what do you think the state of sort of the global sustainability efforts are, particularly in the current political environment, right? So not to get political, but there's certainly a lot of discussion. And my observation has been, of course, living and spending most of my career in North America, that there's been less focus, certainly some focus in APJ. As we've expanded into APJ, we've got a lot of requests, and Dominique is in fact presenting at our next event coming up in Singapore on our initiatives. And certainly in Europe, it's been driven mostly from Europe. What are your thoughts about sort of where we are globally, and what do you think how this is going to play out?
Yeah, and yes, despite the current situation,
Yeah, right.
and some clear backlash we can witness on ESG, I would say the global situation is moving in the right direction, but as you were describing, it's still quite fragmented. So if we look at regulation, they are becoming stronger, but the way they are applied still differs from a region to another. What I think is quite obvious is that EMEA is still leading the way. AP is in the race. We see a lot of traction from APAC, and I tend to think that some countries in Latin America are also accelerating. We have a lot of partners from Colombia, for example. So, and when I was having a discussion with EcoVadis, they do see quite the same trend. And on the other hand, customer expectation around sustainability are really increasing. And I do think this is what is really driving the transformation today. More and more sustainability is becoming a competitive advantage, especially when you answer to RFPs. And I do think that most companies today understand that being sustainable really builds trust. It can help to really strengthen partnerships and increase the resilience, as well as attract the right talents, because currently there is a war of talents on the market. And to answer to your other points, so I do think the main challenges that we still do see are the interdependencies that are ultimately, if you are not collaborating, it's slowing down the progress. The greenwashing, that is still something that is happening very often. And also the inconsistent ESG standard. The data part is a challenge. And there is another key thing, is that the idea that sustainability is a cost instead of an investment. But there is also amazing opportunity when you think about this data and what we can do to make sure that we can make ESG much easier to measure. There is a circular economy and the eco-design approach that is another opportunity, or even the type of leadership that sustainability is bringing, a more human and authentic leadership. We do see this kind of leadership really emerging when you are talking about sustainability. Now, no one is really perfect in this space. We are all in a journey, and so that's why it's really important that we all admit and embrace that we are on a learning and an improvement path together, and this needs to be done step by step. It really helps also when you think about sustainability. It can also have a big opportunity to rethink the place of collaboration in all companies and industries are working together.
Yeah, I think, look, I think this is obviously a topic that is not the program of the week or the program of the month, right? This is clearly part of what we need to continue to do and continue to focus on. And I do think there will be obviously the EU has driven, a lot of what's taken place in Europe, and I think that certainly will continue. Although, Dominique, you probably have a better handle on that, having been engaged with us with the various groups within the EU that are discussing this. But I think over time, there's no question it'll continue to be a major focus.
Yeah, well, there are a little bit of headwinds these days, okay, but I
Yeah.
think the general direction is still there, okay, and I think in Europe there is a lot of focus on sustainability and not only seeing sustainability as something like compliance and reporting, but also as a driver for business innovation.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So one of the interesting things is you can't obviously do any meeting, any podcast, any discussion these days without talking about AI. So we must talk about AI. Virginie, what impact do you think the AI technologies will have on the IT sustainability efforts, if any? Is there anything happening there? I mean, or do you think it's just business as usual as long as we keep the principles in place that you obviously have talked about?
AI and sustainability, a large topic. I do think that AI has the potential to be a transformational force for sustainability. It can really optimize the use of energy, the way we are approaching logistics, the way we are approaching product design, and it can also help even to project some climate modeling when you think about it. So it can really help companies make faster and smarter decisions that will help them to reduce waste and improve efficiency throughout the value chain and the way they are operating. For the IT industry in particular, I do think that it can bring new ways of measuring, managing, and reducing impact. So it can really help our industry to be more sustainable. When you think about smarter data center or sustainable product lifecycle, the more data you can get access to, but the more data you can use on a predictive and manner and proactive manner, it will be extremely powerful. But this power also comes with a cost. Training large AI models consume an amazing, significant amount of energy, which reminds us that, by the way, innovation must go hand in hand with responsibility. So I think it's a question of finding the right balance. Are we able do we know the right balance today? I do think that we don't know it yet. But at Lenovo, we really take this seriously. So we believe that AI is not only a tool for greater efficiency, but we do think that AI is a true catalyst for sustainable innovation, and that it can really enable us to design smarter solutions, that it can help us to reduce waste, to optimize life cycle, and to also optimize the energy use across, once again, our value chain. So recently, and it's part of our whole project around AI, but we have created a dedicated AI governance committee that is really here to ensure that AI is used ethically, transparently, and in an efficient manner inside Lenovo, but also for our customer. And we are currently building an ecosystem of ISVs, and those ISVs are following the same smarter AI principle, where responsibility and inclusion are really central. And the idea is to help also our customer to have access to responsible solutions. And on our side, inside Lenovo, we are also applying AI to advance our sustainability journey. So we have developed what we are calling the ESG Navigator, that is an end-to-end data platform that collects all our supply chain data in real time, very important, and that is supporting Lenovo net zero emission target. And we have also what I don't know if you heard about Lisa. It is our Lenovo Intelligent Sustainability Solutions Advisor. It's an AI-powered advisor that is made to help our customer make more informed sustainability decision while they are going throughout the IT lifecycle of their product. And if you think, because we tend to often forget the social part of sustainability, but AI can be also a very powerful enabler for communities. And through the Lenovo Foundation, we are really empowering our communities through AI. And recently, for example, we have collaborated with Tech to the Rescue. And we have created what we are calling the AI for Social Impact Lab. And the idea is through this lab, we are connecting NGO with AI expertise to be able to tackle challenges like climate change and education access. So our goal is really at Lenovo to not only use AI efficiently, but to use it responsibly and for good. And this is where I do think that there is still a lot of things we have to discover about AI, but it can be a powerful enabler for sustainability. But now we need to really make sure we will be able to measure the impact on environment and mitigate it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty significant. The things you've already identified to be able to, you know, continue this effort, utilizing or you know, taking advantage of AI. That's I'm surprised there's that much activity that's already taken place. That's great. That's really encouraging. And of course, you know, we have a AI enabled PC refresh fully underway, in obviously in many parts of the world. Will that, you know, mass refurbishment have any impact on, you know, the sustainability efforts? Or what do you see with that?
It's a bit like AI. There is pro and cons. So I do think that it's a huge refresh. It's a major turning point for our industry. So it's very exciting to see the innovation it's bringing, but it will also generate a significant amount of e-waste. As organization, we'll need to upgrade their devices. And unfortunately, not all of those devices can be refurbished or reused. So we really must focus on adopting a responsible recovery, recycling, and material reuse approach to reduce this impact. And but at the same time, it's also an opportunity to rethink our business model. And for example, device as a service is an amazing opportunity to extend product life cycle and to help our customer access technology in a more sustainable way. And while this refresh is happening, it's also a way to potentially also position our most sustainable solution and to put them at the center of this transformation. So I do think the main challenge is clearly the volume of e-waste and the complexity of managing it efficiently across regions. So we are back to the fragmentation. But there are strong opportunities, and we are speaking a lot at the moment about the opportunity around refurbishment in our industry, and this refresh is an opportunity to scale take back and refurbishment programs, and ultimately to invest in eco-design and energy efficiency. But once again, this transition must be a collective exercise. So it won't be easy. That's for sure, and it will require a lot of education and engagement of also customers to be able to shift mindset from ownership to responsible use of tech. But I do think that if we work together with across the ecosystem and the value stream, this refresh cycle can really be an accelerator for circularity and sustainable growth.
Yeah, for sure. So kind of wrapping up here, getting close to the end. Dominique, have you got any other questions?
Well, yeah, I maybe, you know, I have a question that, you know, I hope you're ready, Virginie, to look a little bit into the future. Okay, I know it's a little bit of maybe a crystal ball question. Okay, but how far can we push the boundaries of sustainability in the way Lenovo designs its products and its service? I mean, how different from a sustainability point of view may Lenovo's products and services be within 5 to 10 years? Okay, well, what would be a sustainable product in your eyes, or much more sustainable than what it is now?
Where is my dream? No, I do think as soon as we will have solved or at least advanced properly on the data part, and that we will be able to better manage the life cycle of devices and measuring the impact of those devices and services on our ecosystem and environment, it will be already a very big step forward. So I do think to be able to move from ambition to execution in one sense, we need to make sure that the quality and the accessibility, reliability, and comparability of ESG data is there, so that we are really embedding a blockchain approach on ESG and being able to take the right decision. Ultimately, if you ask me what is the perfect device of tomorrow, it's a device that has no carbon footprint, but we need to stay realists. It's not a question of being at zero, it's a question of mitigating impact and respecting the resources we have on this planet. So for me, to answer your question, I think in 5-10 years, if we can arrive at taking care of the resources and making sure that we are producing the way we are respecting those resources, we would have reached a very big goal.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a good answer, and I think that is a formidable goal, but likely doable based on kind of the trajectory that we're on. Look, this has been fabulous, Virginie. Obviously, you're an expert in this area, and Lenovo is lucky to have you doing this. And then secondly, I have to commend Lenovo for their efforts in leading this on behalf of the industry, because I know there's a lot has gone into it, and so I commend you both. I commend you and appreciate your time. Dominique, thank you for your efforts. You've been leading the way for us at GTDC since you've come on, so I appreciate that also. So thanks to both of you, and this was great information.